Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Jessica. I'm glad you found my random little slice of life here on YouTube. Yeah, welcome. So I haven't done a video in my car in a hot minute. I've really been bad about doing a lot of videos like I was, just because things have gotten insane. Trying to figure out kind of how school is gonna look, how life is gonna look, how life is, not normal anymore, and we're kind of getting a new normal. So, also this is my tassel, please ignore it. I tried to get it out of frame, but apparently it's not gonna be out of frame. So things have been a little funky, to say the least, about everything, but we're dealing. So welcome back to my car milkshake talks. Today is a blizzard, sponsored by Dairy Queen. Not sponsored, but it should be. Dairy Queen, if you want to sponsor me, just let me know. So I was gonna say that like today's more of like a life update, but I don't really think this is what today's video is gonna be. I feel like it's more gonna be a check-in, because I think it's been a hot minute since I've done an emotional check-in. So we're gonna go with that. So first thing I do want to say is I did get my engagement ring back in the mail. It's resized. This is the one that I actually picked out. It's kind of hard to see. Maybe it'll focus. The camera doesn't do it justice, to be honest with you. Oh well. It doesn't want to focus. It's fine. The camera really doesn't do it justice. It's absolutely gorgeous. And it's mine, and I got to pick it out. And I love it. Anyway. So, this is kind of what's been happening. If you have school-age children, you have people that have school-age children, you are a teacher, you are somehow connected into schools, you understand the craziness that has been happening. So in my area with my school, we are doing 2 options for our kids. Some places are doing 3. We're only doing 2. I don't know why the lighting looks funky. There we go. It's a little bit better. Our 2 options is, this lighting's still not good, but it's okay. It's just because it's direct light. And I'm trying to sit in the shade as much as I can because it's 97 degrees outside and it's hot. So we're doing 2 options for our students. One is they are blended. So we have Monday and Tuesday is one group of kids come in and they have their class. Wednesday, everyone is solely remote. And then Thursday and Friday, the second group comes in. So we have that day to kind of clean on Wednesday. The days they're not in school, blended in to the classroom, they will have remote learning assignments. So that's one option. Option B is to go with solely remote. They do not come to school. They only do things online. So, my school sent out a couple of surveys up to this point about what parents would rather see. And number-wise, we had a lot of parents who did not feel comfortable sending their kids back to school. I can understand that. Because you're not really risking your child being sick. Sorry, I'm trying to eat, but I don't want to eat and talk because I feel like it's rude. You're not trying to risk your child being sick. It's more, what can my child collect, for lack of better words, and carry home to my family or to other people that have higher risks. If students or parents go with option A, which is blended learning, the kids will have to wear masks, no question. Teachers and staff will have to wear masks. They have to be 6 feet apart. We're not really sure exactly how lunch specials, recess, things like that are going to look as of right now. Hoping to get some clarification on that this week. But sorry, the fire truck just went by, or is going by. So we're not completely sure how everything's going to look. And I think that's a lot of where the anxieties are coming from my part as a teacher, and also parents' parts, is it's really hard to say for sure, yes, this is going to be what's going to happen. This, no, this is not going to happen. And I know, like, for me, there's a lot of anxiety with it. And then if they solely stay at home, then at least, they know they're safe. They don't have to wear a mask. So I don't, I see the pros and cons of both. So that's what our school is doing right now. Along with that, because of the surveys that had been sent out prior to this decision, we had a big significant number of parents who felt that they did not want to send their kid back. So back to what I was getting to, if that's the case, then as of right now, each grade level, at the grammar school at least, has 5 teachers per grade level. As of right now, one of those teachers is going to be solely remote learning kids. The other 4 we will take and split the blended kids up into our classroom, and then we'll kind of be able to judge, from there. That way we only focus on, the kids that are blended and not have to worry as much about the ones that are solely remote. But with the numbers being as high as they were, we may have to have 2. My mentor has stepped up and is going to be the distance learning teacher, and I have volunteered to take the second role. And I'm still a little, I guess, unsure about it, because there's a part of me that feels like I'm taking away that opportunity to be back in the classroom. But with as many restrictions and regulations that things are going to bring, being back in the classroom gives me a lot of anxiety, because I know I'm not just going to be able to step in there every day and teach. It's more going to be, yes, I'm going to step in the classroom and teach, but it's put your mask on, wear your mask, stay 6 feet apart, don't touch each other. Like, it's adding that extra step to teaching that I am mentally not in a good place to handle. Now, am I going to hate not being in the classroom? Of course. But I know that I'm going to be able to go into my classroom and record videos, do live sessions, whatever it is that we kind of verify and say that we're going to do, I'll be able to do that. So I'm very uneasy, and I think that's mainly where this kind of check-in is coming from, because it's a lot to deal with and it's a lot to comprehend. I think I'm more uneasy now knowing that the governor has made a decision than I was all summer when we were kind of waiting to see where he would go. Because now we have the answer to the unknown, but it brings up so many more questions in the unknown that I don't think personally I was prepared to answer or prepared to have to try to figure out. So that I am mentally in a weird place. I am very anxious here lately about all these different situations, all these different questions that are arising. I've had past parents that'll come to me and ask which is the best option. And I feel bad just blatantly telling them that I don't know. I don't know, because I can't even tell you what's the best option for me, because I see the good and I also see the bad. So I'm anxious because it's unknown. And I feel like that's a lesson in itself, is that when we go into a new situation, when we go into a new step in our lives, when we take a couple risks and get us to a place, the anxiety grows. Even the day after Mark proposed, my anxiety hit the roof, because I started freaking out thinking of all these different things we have to do, all this money we'd have to drop for a wedding, all the different things, that we would have to make or buy, trying to find a venue. It was just, even knowing that we had already decided we were going to wait at least a year, if not 2 years, all this anxiety flew because it was a new step. it was a new situation that I was stepping into. And I think that happens with anything. So I want you to take a moment and think, is your anxiety higher because you are stepping into a new situation? Especially if you're a teacher, and I know I have some teacher friends on here that watch, is your anxiety high because of it being a new situation? There is no perfect answer for where we are right now in our world. Should we wear a mask? Should we not wear a mask? Should we open back up? Should we stay closed? Should we close down even more than we are? There's no right answer, and I'm not here to debate it because there's too much negativity in the world right now where people are fighting each other and arguing about everything. It's not worth it. We need to stop for a moment and focus on ourselves and see, what can I do to help myself feel better and do better? But that's a whole another topic. So stop and think right now, how are you actually feeling? Are you feeling confident? Are you feeling good? Because maybe you are. Maybe none of this even bothers you. Maybe you're just ready to do something again. And especially if you're a teacher, maybe you're okay with going back in the classroom with these regulations, and that's fine. I hope that you're not feeling anxious like I am. But if you are, stop and think for a second. Why am I feeling anxious? Am I anxious because of the unknown, or am I anxious because of something I can control? And I think that's something I have to remember too, is I can't control what happens outside of my classroom. And that has been something I have preached to myself since day one of teaching. I cannot control what happens outside of the room. So I am working to do the same thing now. I can't control what happens with this virus. I can't control what happens with the school, with the decisions that are made, because it is out of my hands. I am a low woman on the totem pole, and I can't make those decisions. Thank God I can't, because I would probably mess it up. But I think this is an important time for all of us to breathe and remember that we are all in a odd place right now. We are all in a scary place right now, and we are all in an uncomfortable place right now. And that's okay. But I want you to check in with yourself. Take some time to breathe. Take some time to reflect. Do something that brings you joy, that calms you down. Journaling, hand lettering, calligraphy, drawing, coloring, painting, whatever it is that brings you peace, do it. Because right now is the prime time to make sure that you are taking care of yourself. Because there is so much unknowns, and there are so many unknowns, and there's so much uncertainty that we will get lost in it. And I know I'm guilty of that so much. So I think we all just need to check in on ourselves and check in with each other. Check in on the friends that maybe you haven't heard from lately. Check in on, even your significant other that you may live with. Check in and make sure they're okay. My fiance works in a very high risk job. Not as high risk as some, but high risk enough. And some days he comes home and he doesn't talk. And I know that's when something kind of bad has happened. So I either try to get him to talk, or I let him stew on it, I guess, a little bit. And then eventually he'll kind of, tell me what happened. But nonetheless, check in on the people that you love. Check in on yourself. And just know that you can only control, and you can only take care of what you can control. The rest is up to the good Lord. So that's my, little emotional check-in video. All I know is I'm going to pray that this school year turns out good. I'm going to do the best that I can to make it as good, if not the best, for my kids. And that's all I can do, because at the end of the day, they're the ones that matter, not anybody else, and not everything else. So yeah, I'm gonna go eat my milkshake. I hope you guys are good. Let me know how you're doing, good or bad. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help. And let me know if you have any like video ideas, because I'd love to hear like something you guys would like to see or me talk about or whatever it is. Just let me know. All right, I'm gonna eat my milkshake and I'll see you guys later. Bye.